Alright guys, so today at the range and I'm gonna run some precision rifle drills, just get a little training in today. Got some matches coming up, so got some things I need to work on. So the first thing I'm gonna do today is the Chaos Drill by Phil Vallejo and the boys over at the Cadre. If you haven't seen this drill, you don't know what it is, it's a precision rifle drill. You start at the 100-yard line, the timer goes off, you gotta run back to, or you start the target, excuse me, then your timer goes off, you run back to the 100-yard line, then you work your way through multiple target engagement on your target sheet. It's a full tripod deployment from nothing to standing, kneeling, and then a seated position as well. There's prone shooting in it. Really cool drill. So I'm gonna run it a few times, see how it goes, and then we'll head over to the long range and we'll get some practice in over there as well. Probably do some drills, starting the timer to the first shot type thing, as well as some ranging. So I've got a weapon mounted rangefinder on this rifle. So I'm gonna start this drill running my rifle that I'm going to be running at some team sniper style matches that I have coming up. I might also run it with my precision rifle, which is an absolute bear. It's like 30 pounds, so we'll see. But let's get after it. All right, guys. So this is the target for the Chaos Drill. Just want to go over this so you guys know what it is that I'm shooting at, what I'm seeing, and all the different things that are happening downrange because I didn't have a trigger cam on the rifle that I was using for this drill. So you're going to start at the target, right? The buzzer's going to go off. You run back to the 100-yard line, and then that's when you actually break down and start moving through the drill. So first thing that you're going to do is go into a prone. You're going to engage this target right here with 3 shots. Now, if you miss one of these 3 shots, that's it. As far as score is concerned, it's an automatic fail. So you have to hit these 3 shots to continue for score, or just continue the drill just to get the reps in if you miss. But so from there, you'll engage these 3 targets here. These are 1 MOA targets here. At that point, your 6-round magazine is going to run dry. So you'll mag change, and then you'll engage these 2 1 MOA targets here. Now at that point, your prone shooting is over. So you're going to start to set your tripod up in a standing position. Once you get up standing in your tripod position, you're going to engage this with 3 shots. Then you're going to break the rifle off the tripod. You're going to go into a kneeling position. You'll engage this with 3 shots. And then your final position will be 3 rounds seated. And this will be your last target right here. So super fun drill. Enjoy it. Definitely go out and shoot it. And here we go. way past the time. Alright, well that was pretty terrible. There was a lot of fumbling with the gear. You need to dry fire this definitely a lot more. It's interesting when you run drills like these, unless you're shooting matches or taking classes or interfacing with some of the better shooters in the country, you don't really realize how good they are until you try to do something like this. If you go watch Phil Vallejo's video breaking down this drill, he runs it 5 times, one full run in the video. He burns it down, and it's crazy how hard this actually is. So, I'm gonna run it again. My timer took a crap on me, so I won't be able to time it, but this time I'm gonna be looking for not fumbling my tripod and just smoother movement through the different positions in the drill. Won't be able to time it, so it is what it is, but there's always something you can improve even if your timer goes down on you. So I'll let the rifle cool down and then we'll run it back. Alright, we're gonna give this thing a run. I'm gonna take the timer just so I can have an audible start, but we'll see if it picks the shots up. It only picked up 9 of the 17 that time, so who knows. Let's give it another shot. shots that time. That was still pretty rough. Whew. Definitely gonna have to dry fire that again and then come back and run it another day. Let's go look at the hits. Well, it's definitely not awesome. Let's talk about that in a second. Alright guys, so as you can see, this is pretty rough. A lot to learn from a target like this. But alright, so this is my second run. I just stapled over this target over the top of my first run target, which I actually shot that one better, but this is the one we're going to go over because this is the one I got. So this is my initial engagement here, 3 rounds from the prone. This round is breaking the line, so technically I continued the drill, and it would have counted for score if my timer hadn't been messed up anyway. So then I moved to the second 3 shots from the prone. This one here is kind of breaking the line, but I'm going to call that a miss. So now I'm down 1. Hit these 2, and that was those are clean. Then I went into my mag change at that point to engage these 2 bottom 1 MOA targets with 1 round each. I'm 90% sure this is my shot on that target. So then go into the standing. Supposed to be 3 rounds here. I'm pretty sure this one is supposed to be over here too. So that was my group in the standing, or this round here. I'm sorry, this, and this. So that puts me down 3 now for this target. Then you go into the kneeling, and that's these 3 here. This is a miss, so now I'm down 4 for this target, and then the seated here, and obviously that is a dropped shot, so that puts me down 5. Like I said, I don't really know what the time was. My timer didn't work, and only picked up 3 shots anyway, so this is still a fun drill to run. You can still learn a lot from it. You know, obviously I definitely have some issues working on my stabilization while working off the tripod from these different positions, but super fun. Give it a run. Alright, so that was a super fun drill, really challenging. If you haven't watched Vallejo's video, go to the Cadre's YouTube channel, watch his breakdown, watch his run. It's a really fun drill. Just wanted to really quickly go over the rifle that I was shooting. This is a lighter field match style rifle that I'll be shooting in some upcoming team, like running gun, sniper style matches. So it's meant to be a little bit lighter. You can shoot an NRL Hunter as well. So it's a KRG Whiskey 3 chassis. I've got a Defiance Deviant Action. This is a proof 22-inch Sendero Contour carbon wrapped barrel. It's chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. Got an Elite Iron suppressor up here, Magpul bipods, the Tango Enos Fire 4000 weapon mounted laser rangefinder up here, and that's sitting on top of this Badger Ordnance Condition 1 mount, and this is a Leupold Mark 5 7-35 scope with a Trigger Tech Diamond flat shoe trigger. So super fun little run and gun setup. It's lighter, you know, so I can run around with it a little bit. Like I said, I'll be taking it to some fun matches here coming up pretty soon, so trying to train with it as much as I can. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.